Well, let's get started. Got a lot to talk about today. On the well.
Welcome to the well. We got Miss Danetta, Daniel, Dana, and David. How you guys feeling on the
We
day?
good. We
good.
Marvin Drake.
All
All the D's.
all the D's.
All the D's.
D's.
These topics.
These topics.
These
On
topics.
today, we're going to talk about forgiveness. You got anything on your mind, Danetta?
Yeah, I do. I have a question for you all. What does it mean to really forgive and forget? Like, what's the difference between the two? Like, give us a breakdown.
You said between forgive and forget? Mm-hmm. Yeah, forgiving is, if my brother Daniel, if he offends me, of course I'm gonna give him a second chance. And I love you. And I'm gonna try not to hold it against him because I'm forgiving him. But I did not forget, but I'm forgiving him. Not forgiving him is like if my brother over here does something to me. And every time I see him, I'm like, yeah, I apologize. I accept your apology. But every time I see him, I'm like,
You can go real biblical. You can quote David or Daniel.
Yeah.
come on.
See?
Because
We both.
See?
well, he don't have a chapter.
I'm in Psalms.
I mean, well, you don't
I'm
have-
in
you don't
all
have
up
a
in
book.
Psalms. I wrote it.
But you
I
don't have
wrote-
your own book named after you.
I wrote the whole book. 100 and how many chapters? 50?
You didn't get paid for it.
First of
Yeah.
all, there you go. There you go. Anyway,
Receipt?
no, I
You
think
forgive me?
Yeah, I forgive.
Thank you.
But no, I think you forgive and forget. It's one of those sayings that is very popular. I forgive and forgot about it. Dana says some truth to it. Me personally, I can forgive. You can remember things, but you don't use it against, because if you use it against how you treat somebody, that's almost like you're not forgetting it. You didn't let it
Right.
go. And it almost takes more work to hang on to something rather than letting it go and then moving forward. That I think personally that's how I feel about it.
And to move forward, I feel like you can forgive, but I don't necessarily feel like you need to forget, because you need to be able to move forward through the lens of wisdom. And the wisdom is going to be that what got you in that issue, or what that individual did. So you kind of be able to pull out that file so that you engage differently.
Has anyone ever had an instance where you regret forgiving someone?
Ooh. Y'all could go
Well,
ahead.
I think Daniel talked about it just a minute ago when he said the word wisdom. I don't think in my younger days I had enough wisdom, because I forgave somebody, and I was like, oh, we're cool, and they did the same thing again. And I don't know the whole saying, but it's like they fool me once, fool me twice. They got me 3 times initially. I'm like, what?
Right.
Lord, like, I forgave them. I did what you said. He's like, bro, I didn't tell you to keep giving them
Right.
the power to keep
was on
doing
you.
that and
Right.
abusing you. That's you.
Right.
It's like, what I
Right.
mean? Like, I gave you an opportunity to learn once. You should have used that wisdom to move forward and not put them in the same position, or put yourself in that position again and be, abused and hurt. It's almost like you think just because people are in the church that they're not going to do something to you. So if they
Right.
do it to you in the church, it almost stings more.
Yeah.
Whereas outside of the church, if somebody does something to me, I'm like, oh, I expect that. Whatever, forget them. But if somebody in the church like lied to me, I can't believe they lied. Guess what? They lied to me. Guess what? Last week they lied. Man, they a liar. You just keep, next thing you know, the rumors around the church are just always doing something to you personally.
I'm not saying y'all forgive and don't forget. I'm just like, that's
No,
really true. Like,
they-
I really don't forget nothing. You do something to me, I'm gonna remember, and you're not gonna really get a second chance to it.
Because like if you go to a church and you got a pastor that we see it in the news, unfortunately a lot, where there's
Right.
abuse or like
Right.
have affairs or something
Right.
like that going on in the church, people are really hurt. You forgive the pastor, but do you still continue to go there? Do you still continue to listen to those messages? There's levels versus somebody stealing some gum out your pocket.
That's more
and you
like
doing
wisdom, and then also your own convictions. Like, you have to be able to say, okay, do I need to be under this leadership?
So I'll give you guys a scenario of something that just happened in the world. Family of the church members of the people who were killed in Charleston, and one of the ladies on TV came and said, I forgive him. Would you be able to forgive?
I don't think I have to say anything. I would. I just said I have a hard time forgetting. No, I'm not.
Man.
No, I don't think my initial things be like, I forgive him. I'm gonna be mad, and I'm gonna be mad for a while.
It's crazy. If he would have been crying and boohooing, like, I don't know what came, I really had hate in my heart. I'm so sorry. Like, God forgive me. I wouldn't have felt what I said. What I just said, like, about him feeling angry. But the fact that he was laughing and playing, I'm like, man, it's it brought something up in me where I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, nah, this is not cool at all.
Exactly. A mass murder like that, apology ain't enough because
Yeah.
the
That's what I'm
damage
gonna
is
say.
done. Like, you know.
I'm
That
gonna
person
say
not gonna die.
there's a forgiveness there that God needs to come into my heart personally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that takes
that,
some time.
That I will have to be healed by God. I didn't want to hear nothing about his mental illness. I don't want to hear nothing about how he grew up in his family. I wanted him to be hurt and hurt badly.
Feel like it's a journey. Forgiveness is a journey. You know, and sometimes your journey is quick. Like, oh, sure, I forgive you. That's a no-brainer. Some other times it's like forgiving this individual challenges so much of who you are and all of your being that you're like, I just cannot give you these keys right now. They're here, but give me some time. And so, but through the help of God and through the Holy Ghost, you're able to go through that journey and kind of see where you need to let go. And in letting go, God gives you the ability to say, okay, now I forgive you wholeheartedly.
In 1 Corinthians 13:5, it says, love keeps no record of wrongdoing. If the Bible can say that, then why us as humans have we not able to do the same?
We are flawed. We're human.
Gotcha.
You know, we're not God. We're striving to be like him every day, but we're not.
Gotcha. Daniel, have you ever had an instance in your life where you just had to forgive someone, even though it was hard?
Actually, I have. I had,
Praise the
and
Lord.
I was struggling with, should I share this? But I'll go share it. So
Come on.
my brother under me got killed by a woman who was, who hit him. He was in a car waiting at the light, and the person got behind him and was not looking, hit him, and knocked him into ongoing traffic. And so he died. And so, of course, there was a lot of legal situations that went forth. But then post the experience and then having to try to figure out what should we do, my family, what should we do with the whole situation, it's like no money is going to take or bring back that life.
Right.
But when we look back at the experience, we wish that that individual would have came and said, I'm sorry, and would have had some genuineness from the start.
Right.
Like you a life was gone because of your negligence, period.
So if you had to tell someone who's watching right now that you dealt with that, could you give them a rundown of the steps you might have taken to get to where you are? Was it overnight? Did it take time? Did it take prayer? What did it take for you to get there?
It took a lot of reflection with my family. It took a lot of prayer. It actually took a lot of tears. Actually, even me being able to share this testimony on the well today and not have any anger or feeling with inside, I know that I have come to a place of forgiveness.
Praise God.
And so it was a journey, about maybe 3 years. So
And that's, I think, too, we got to put on out there, like, if you do something wrong and you're expecting forgiveness, it's not your job to tell the person how long or how quick they should be in forgiving you.
You know, I think as a human, I mean, you want to not only hear the forgiveness, but you also want to see that there is a sense of remorse, a sense of turning in that individual's life, that they're not just telling you, I'm sorry just because they got caught.
Yeah.
I'm sorry because I genuinely am, I feel wrong, like I did wrong, and I wish I could change back, switch back the time, the hands of time.
Kind of reminds me, like, even in the Bible, Matthew 6:14 and 15, it's talking about how if you don't forgive other people, or if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your Father in heaven will forgive you also. But in 15, it's talking about if you don't forgive, he won't forgive you. So you just keep that in mind. Like, at the end of the day, God is more pleased with you, even if people do wrong to you, even if they do something, you forgive, your heart's pure, he's smiling. Even if in the immediate you're seeing, something that's going against what you want to do. But as long as you're on that journey towards forgiving and following those scriptures in the Bible, there's plenty of them. Colossians, Matthew, again, be angry and sin not. That's that you look at that. It's a short but sweet scripture. You can be mad at him. Tell God you're mad. But don't hang on to it, and don't you try to rectify judgment on that person.
This just came to my mind. I don't know if somebody else noticed, but I forgive you for flexing on the well because you just, you.
Stop
Right,
that.
He did.
right,
He did.
right,
Man.
right,
Come on. You see him put his arm up so he
right,
can he said,
right.
The way you just pointed out, I forgave.
shooters.
Marvin trying to get on you because he skipped arm day. last week.
I skipped a few days. But thank you for joining us on The Well. We'll see you next time. Remember to subscribe to us on YouTube. Looking for more West State TV original content? Like and subscribe to make sure you never miss a video.